Alright everyone, so we are going to start the Super Snap. This is one of the few Snap Fit or Snap Tite kits I've built as I've gotten more experience. Usually I remember the Snap kits from the old days where they made them pretty simple, but I hear some of the modern kits rival those glue kits, so we shall see. So I'm expecting a low parts count and easy assembly, which is fine. I would have preferred a glue kit of the Crown Vic, but I can't find one. So I think there's many releases of this kit. You know, they print new decals, different states. Hopefully this will have most of the new parts, because I think some of the later releases maybe have one or two additional parts. So let's take a look at it. This has the Ohio State Police decals. It's a flip top. Let's check it out. So it's basically one bag. Pretty simple. Instruction sheet is really stuck to the bottom. Take a look at this. Interior looks simple tub. The cage or security screen, whatever you want to call it, doesn't look that complicated. Lights. And decal placement. Okay, so instructions are simple enough. The kit is molded in gray. Usually I like it when it's molded in gray. I prefer a gray color, but NYPD is white. So let me stop the video and I'll open the bag. Upon unbagging the kit, it's just a few pieces. It's molded in gray, black, and dark gray, which is a nice molding because I actually like gray. The interior will probably be flat black and gray, so these pieces I'll probably leave. Chrome, very limited chrome. The grill, which I'll probably black out. Headlights, probably painted in white. Some of the top light bars or reflectors within the light. These will be black washed. Basically, they're the factory standard wheel covers, tires, metal axle, screws. And it's a shame that I have to paint it white because the paint on this mold is actually really good. I mean, you could probably just top coat it with a clear coat. I mean, look at that. It's like a metallic gray. It's a really beautiful paint job. But I like how they pack all the parts within this. All right, I have to stop the camera to use two hands. All right, so let's take a look at that body once again. I think those two holes you see on the roof is where you mount the light bar. Yep, you have to poke a hole or drill the hole. But except for this little floor over here, this little line. But the paint job is pretty good. I mean, look how shiny that is. It's got a little metallic flake in it. But I will have to prime it and paint it white. The chassis is already black, so that's simple. You could maybe put a matte clear coat on it. So the raised details are excellent, but it is one piece molded. So I'm gonna have to use the wonder of painting to make it seem like there's different parts. Gray interior, very nice. Again, my interior is going to be gray and black. Dash, everything else. I'll probably paint some parts in flat black. One-piece glass. Front is open, which is nice. And then the different lights. So it doesn't look like painting is going to be that much of a problem. You know, it is for 8 years and over, so they do simplify it. But I will be painting some of it. So I'll wash the parts, get it prepped up for a little bit of spraying, primer, and things like that. Forgot to show you guys the details. It is Ohio. Similar to a logo for the Indianapolis 500. The wings through the tire. Dash decals, so you don't have to worry with the raised white lettering. And I wanted to mention that the interior is already finished in a matte finish, so that's very nice. Okay. Alright, so I painted the body white, did the chrome trim up on top of the front and back bumper, and the black gaskets around the window and the chrome trim, the fret around the windows, the dash. I know the buttons are usually black, but I wanted it to stand out, so I had to do it in gray, silver. The blue oval on the steering wheel. Painted interior, but left the seats gray. Raised details excellent. So I'll have to paint the undercarriage. But if you look on the side, they are rather thick, so it'll only look good from this angle. Black wash the vent. Shotgun. Black wash the electronic equipment, computer. Painted the rubber pads on the push bar. Black wash the full-size wheel covers, the chrome and black trim around the tail light, painted the orange road hazard on the top, white headlights and turn indicators. And I printed several copies in different shades of blue. This one seems to be a little too light, so I'm going to end up, and this one's too dark. So I'm going to use this, which is right in the middle. So I painted them in different sizes, and I found the one that kind of fits. So I'll basically scanned it from the internet and put it on my own decal sheet. So instead of purchasing them, so we'll see. Hopefully that'll work out. So that's where I am right now. Alright, so the homemade decals didn't work out, so I'm going to have to order some professional NYPD decals. But in the meantime, I'm going to start working on the figures. So this twin pack, I already used the Sergeant Jack one for the NYPD van. So that leaves Patrolman Sally Taylor. So it's not much to the kit. I already used half of them for the male figure. For the female figure, instructions are in the back of the box. Not much. So since she's posed for the M4, she will probably be sitting in the passenger seat. I'll probably have her holding the rifle out the window or something. And then for Ashley, since she already has her two hands posed on her hip, I'll just raise it and she'll probably be the driver. But anyway, pretty good detail. I'll have to repose it so she's sitting down instead of standing up with a straight leg. But you can see the hat is in two parts, her face. I'll try to probably paint her with blonde hair. See the sidearm, equipment, radio. I like the detail of the webbing on the belt. Face. Okay. Actually, I don't even know whether her hair sticks out. It's probably tucked underneath her hat. And she has a ponytail, so maybe I'll paint it black. There's a ponytail. Her arms, radio, ammo clip, or equipment clip. Also nice webbing detail, sidearm. Okay, so that's the instructions. And then in the back, this is the instructions for her. Okay. Alright, so the master box figures, I posed them, glued them together. So right now I'm just waiting for the putty to dry because there were some cracks I had to cover up. So here's the thing. These figures are 1/24 scale. This car is 1/25 scale, so they are a little too big. So remembering what I did with Jack, the male patrolman, the male NYPD sergeant that I stuck in the police van, to prevent the head from hitting the roof, I did the same thing. I cut the seat, to lower the height of the figures. So hopefully that should give him some clearance. This is the patrolman. I posed her in a ponytail. I put the rifle in her hand, either an M16 or M4, I don't know. So I reposed her, put everything on, so when everything dries, I'll just file down the putty or sand it down slightly and then start painting. But pretty good detail. So she'll be sitting on the passenger side, and then the driver, Ashley, she's part of the Dangerous Curves collection. So she has a very curvy hourglass body. So I had to kind of shorten the legs, kind of left the torso. I think I took a little bit off the waist. So here's the thing. With male figures, it's easier to pose because you can cut or shorten the torso and it's still easy to mate together. But the thing with the women figures they have an hourglass and tapered figure. So when you put them back together, sometimes it's hard to match up with the taper angle. So her busty top torso, you'll see, but her curvaceous hips should be sitting down. So as you notice in the back, it doesn't quite fit, but it doesn't really matter because it doesn't quite mate. But it doesn't matter because she'll be sitting down. So I also filed or shaved a little bit of her behind, so hoping that will lower her height. So just to keep that in mind, women figures are a little harder to shave and cut because you have to match up their curvaceous torsos. But with the male figures, it's much easier if you want to take a little off the waist and shorten them a couple of millimeters. So when everything dries, I'll start painting them. Oh, and one other thing, I painted the undercarriage. Blue engine block, silver oil and transmission pan, exhaust is mostly chrome and silver, and I accentuated the anti-sway bar. Red in the front, red in the back, blue shocks. That's pretty much it. Okay. Alright, so I finally got these decals I ordered from J&S Decals. A little disappointed with the NYPD decals, which was the reason why I ordered them. The New York State Troopers came out excellent, the decals. See that sheen or shine? But this one, the printer is set too dark because the bumper stickers, you can't even read what it says. Usually the lower one would say $10,000 reward for cop shot information, and then the top is for the Police Athletic League, but you can't read, it's too dark. The blue is slightly off too. It's not the correct shade of blue. And when it comes to like a blue line, I really couldn't make it myself because I did do that and I started applying them. But what happens, it bleeds, and also the decal sheet started to stretch, distorting it. And also, the photo image I found, the background is not pure white. It's kind of like a slight cream color. So when you put it against the white car, you can kind of see where the outline of the decal. So it looks like I might have to end up using some parts of it. Like the bumper stickers on this one is so much clearer, you can read it. Focus. See how the bumper stickers are so much clearer than this one? And also see that sheen is kind of like, has a matte finish to it. So let me shoot it with some acrylic gloss, and then as far as the NYPD badge, or I'll use these from my NYPD van because they're so much clearer. But anyway, a little disappointed with the J&S decals, the NYPD. State Trooper ones came out good, but these not so good. He ended up giving me a partial refund on this, but anyway, really looking forward to this. So hopefully the blue line will not be a disappointment, or else I'll have to mask it off and spray it instead. Alright. Alright, so all the decals are on the body. I think I'm going to top coat it, so hopefully there won't be a reaction to the top coat, or else it will be a waste of effort and decals and time. But all the decals are on. Just want to clarify what I said before. There's a $10,000 reward for anyone who reports or provides information connected to a cop shot. That's what the bumper sticker says. So just want to clarify that. Alright, so it's ready to be top coated with clear. The 4 decals are on the grill and on the wheels as well. Okay, hopefully the top coat won't have a weird reaction. Alright, so I finished spraying the gloss clear coat, and a majority of the body came out really nice and shiny, but as predicted, I did get a little bit of reaction over here. You see how it started to lift or wrinkle, so I'm gonna have to wet sand it and polish it. There's nothing more I can do for the paint because the decals are already laid down, and I'm not going to redo it. So I'll just have to wet sand and buff. So there's 2 wrinkles on the hood, just a little on the bottom of the bumper, but that's not important. But the 2 spots on the top is what's I'm gonna have to work on. So that's where we stand on the body. Alright, so this is how I'm going to try to fix the blemishes on my white paint job. I masked off so only the hood and the trunk is exposed. I covered the decals, but since the decals has a clear coat over it, it's not going to peel off when I pull the masking tape off. But let's just hope that holds true. So I'm going to lift the masking tape up, but be sure that wherever the decal is, it'll still be covered. I'm going to do light mist, and hopefully it'll be feathered or layered into the paint job. So the thing is, if I put the masking tape all the way down, you're going to get a hard border. So I'm hoping for a softer border when I spray gently. So hopefully that's the only way to make this paint job more consistent. Alright, we'll find out if this works. So here is Ashley of the Dangerous Curves. She is ready to go. Painted her face the best I could. Uniform as well. In reposing her back, not that great, but doesn't matter, she'll be seated. See how there's a space where her hip is? So but that doesn't matter, she'll be sitting down. You won't see that. Okay. Then this is the other policewoman with her M4. What I think is an M4. She does not have a cap, so you can see her hair in a ponytail. The best I could do. So as far as her eyebrows and her eyeliner, I didn't do the lower eyeliner because I've seen some pictures of other people when they do the figures. If they don't do a good job, it kind of looks like a scary clown, like with running mascara. So in order to get that fine of a line, I actually have to use the edge or the end of a modeling knife. Kind of like how people used to use a fountain pen, you know, the metal blade. So I used the metal blade to draw the line. So that's how I was able to get so fine of a detail. But I don't even have any brushes. Even the toothpick is too thick. So I had to use the end of a modeling knife. So here they are. She's posed for the steering wheel. So because she's a driver and she has a cap, I had to cut away the top so there would be enough headroom. But I think this windshield is made very thin and brittle because even though I scored the plastic where I wanted it to square off, when I cut it, it started to crack. So a little crack on the front windshield, it does show, but doesn't seem so out of place because it is a police car and it is a very perilous job and it's a work vehicle. So I could say the crack probably from a deflected bullet or just from stones from the road. So that's where I am right now. So hopefully I'll fix the paint job and then the assembly should be really quick because it's a Snap Tite. Alrighty everyone, so it seems like I was mildly successful in applying a second coat and trying to blend it in. I know where I'm trying to touch up, so that's why I noticed these bumps, because I touched up originally and the height is slightly different, but it's okay because then I'll try to polish it down slightly. But yeah, it's not going to be perfect, but I think I can salvage it. I'll just wait for the paint to dry because I'm near the last 20% of my spray can, so the paint is on the thin side as opposed to when I first used the spray can and it's drawing paint from the bottom of the can, which is the thicker portion. So I'm going to let it dry because if I polish it too early, what happens is that the paint turns gummy because it's so thin and it hasn't really cured or dried yet. So I'm going to try to buff it down slightly, but yeah, I mean, it's not going to be perfect, but I think I can salvage it. Decals are covered and was untouched. You see right above the NYPD, you know, like where the fresh paint kind of meets the overcoat, but sometimes I could kind of blend it in, like on a real car, you know, when you blend the paint job without having to repaint the whole car. So I think it's doable. But yeah, there's a little bit more orange peel because I didn't spray the whole portion. I mostly just concentrated on this left side. The right side, you get a little bit of just the overspray. So maybe that'll buff out. I don't know. I mean, if I need to, I'll just respray it again. Good thing about plastic models is, you know, if you fail, just redo it. Okay, so we'll see how this turns out. Alright, so the car is completed. Just want to show you what it looks like before I add the two figures. I can't put in the push bar yet. Because the push bar goes in the front. And I have to install the screws first. Hopefully by installing the screws, it'll center the wheel in the wheel well. If you notice, they're a little bit too far back. They're not exactly in the center. Did have to cut the metal axles because they were a little bit too long and the wheels wouldn't fit in the wheel well or the fender well. But for the most part, I was able to blend in and save the paint job, I guess. You can see a little bit of the dimple or a bulge where I touched up, but not too bad. The front one I had to touch up a little bit more because I polished a little too much. Maybe I'll polish it a little bit more just to get it a little bit more level, but for the most part, not too bad. It is a work vehicle, so even though I cracked the windshields, I could have taken a hot metal pin and burned the hole to make it look like bullet holes, exactly where the dimples are, if I really want to hide it. I did not weather it. The tires are raised, so they're Goodyear RSAs. I will not be highlighting them because it is a work vehicle, so it's probably just black walls, but I do like the way it came out. I would have preferred the second generation Crown Vics, like the 2000s up to 2012. They had the large square rectangular tail lights and headlights on each corner of the car, but these are the first generation slicks. The paint job, actually, some of it kind of looked like this with the crack peeling paint. So I don't know what the story is with Rust-Oleum. You use their own brand clear coat over their own paint and it still has a reaction to it. The only thing I can think of is maybe I sprayed a little too much clear coat, because clear coat is hard to see how much you're spraying. So next time I'll have to spray a really light mist of clear coat. Hopefully it won't react to it too much, but it's not bad for a Snap Tite. I mean, as long as you black wash it and you try to bring out the detail, it's a pretty detail for a Snap Tite. So I'll just take some stills, and then when I come back, the figures will be in. This is the final product with the figures in. She's got the M4 out the window. Get some better lighting in here. The M4 out the window. And the driver, she's slightly tilted because her cap is so big, but they all fit, so I had to kind of finagle and maneuver the interior in, and then good thing the bottom chassis is screw-in. So this is the final product. I think it looks good. From far away it kind of looks like a die cast, only because I've only seen these in die cast. I think Simi has a die cast from Greenlight, but I'm glad I was able to convert this plastic scale model to an NYPD with the decals. It's not a true Snap Tite because this push bar had to be glued onto the bumper, and same thing with these spotlights. They don't snap into the holes. They actually have to be glued on. It's a flat flush mounting piece. Too bad it didn't come with a sunscreen that said Highway Patrol, because then I could hide the crack. But like I said, you know, it's fine with the crack, and even with the uneven touch-up paint, I could have probably made bullet holes to hide it, but it's fine. So good thing is white. Everything kind of blends in, but obviously if you shine in the light, you'll see where I feathered it in or layered it. But overall, I think it came out pretty nice. You know, if you take the time out to enhance the details, like black wash the hubcaps, do the black window gaskets and the minimal chrome trim. Did not carry the chrome trim through the middle doors, because usually they delete that because of the paint job for NYPD. So a lot of times they either delete it or they take out the chrome. So that's why the chrome line ends over here. The rear one, the chrome ends over there as well. But I do like the Highway Patrol. A little heavy on the clear coat, because I show a little bit of dripping right where the decal is. So next time I'll have to be a little bit lighter. Don't know why the paint caused me so many problems. I sprayed it, like again, maybe I just sprayed too much of the clear coat and it permeated the white paint job, because I allowed a lot of time for it to dry. But anyway, here it is. Take the time out to detail it. It looks half decent. So I'm going to have stills at the end. This is actually the current color scheme of the NYPD vehicles. It used to be dark green, black fenders, white top. Then it was light blue with white words, and then now it's white with blue lettering. So I don't know how true it is, but someone said that the white cars actually are like $800 cheaper. They're a little cheaper to order. So that sounds like a good deal for the purchasing department if they can order white cars. I think white cars also are more visible, maybe during the daytime or nighttime. You know, you can see them better. Who knows? But anyway, wheels do roll very well, actually, because it's on steel metal axles. I actually had to cut the metal axle because it was a little too long. But overall, you know, pretty nice build. So thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, the usual stuff. Only thing is I probably could have added a few antennas, but that's fine. Thanks.
What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? When you were 8 and you had bad traits, you go to school and learn the golden rule. So why are you acting like a bloody fool? If you get hot, then you must get cool. Bad boys, what you gonna do? Or what you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, what you gonna do? Or what you gonna do when they come for you? You chuck it on that one, you chuck it on this one, you chuck it on your mother and you chuck it on your father, you chuck it on your brother and you chuck it on your sister, you chuck it on that one and you chuck it on me. Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Nobody now give you no break. Police now give you no break. That old soldier man I give you no break.